Another weekend of mixed messaging between the White House and Beijing, at least when it comes to trade talks and whether, in fact, there are talks. China also hinting at more stimulus. Let's get to Eunice Yoon. She can bring us up to date, at least from Beijing. Eunice.
Thanks so much, David. Well, from Beijing's perspective, the message is quite clear. For the foreign ministry today was asked about the Time magazine interview that President Trump had where he suggested that President Xi Jinping had called him. The foreign ministry said, as far as I know, the two heads of state have not had a phone call recently. Let me make it clear one more time. China and the U.S. are not engaged in any consultation or negotiation on tariffs. Instead, today, policymakers had unveiled more policies to be able to support the economy. In particular, they fall into two buckets: policies to help exporters as well as the workers. So for the exporters, the policies are thus the loans and financial support are going to help boost confidence for orders, the authorities say. They're going to also help to find ways to reduce the operating costs for some of these exporters, such as rent. Assistance will be given to help the exporters to be able to sell their products domestically. And then for the workers, they said that better ways to distribute wages to workers in fields with what they described as urgent needs, boost to entrepreneurship, vocational skills training, and then subsidies for companies that hire recent graduates. And then the social media account that's linked to CCTV had said that these policies and economic stems would be implemented by the end of June, and that probably would be welcome for many in the export sector, given that Goldman Sachs has already estimated that U.S. tariffs could risk 16 million export jobs in China. Guys?
I'm going to ask you about how much pain it's causing or anticipated to cause. I mentioned some in the U.S. The Toy Association, for instance, is worried about these toy makers going bankrupt because all those toys are made in China and shipped here. But what about there? There are reports that factories are furloughing workers, that they've slowed down a lot. Is there any way to tell what sort of toll it's taking?
Absolutely. I think it's having a very, very hefty toll on the manufacturing sector. There have been a lot of factories that are telling me or are just talking to other reporters saying that they've been putting their businesses on hold. A lot of these orders have been warehoused. People are kind of waiting to see what happens. And in the meantime, people are worried about a lot of these workers. There have been consultations with authorities as to how and when they could actually move forward. So people are all bracing for tougher times at this point, especially when it comes to the export sector.
Okay, Eunice, thank you. Eunice Yoon tonight in Beijing.